Sasha Sanchez. How you doing? Today I'll be talking about Vietnam. Here it is, 1965, the war that was intentionally between the U.S. and the Soviets and now brought in Vietnam as well. It's been long for... Oh, I messed up. A long 10 years trying to end this, along with the U.S. trying to save them from communism. Let's tune into Kimberly for more history upon the war.
Thanks, Sasha. During the 1800s, Vietnam was taken care over by France for their exports, which are rubber and rice. Among with their neighbors, Laos and Cambodia, who were also colonized by the French, were known as the French Indochina, which later caused them to rebel. So during World War II, a man named Ho Chi Minh started a Vietnamese army against their French rules. Because the Ho Chi Minh was a communist, the U.S. helped France. Let's tune into Angel for more information.
Introduction. Eventually, Vietnam was divided into North, which is the communists, and South, anti-communist. Obviously, the U.S. supported the South, which made the North very unhappy. They fired torpedoes at an American ship in the Gulf of Tonkin that later brought the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which allowed the U.S. to bring military force into Vietnam, which led to over 500,000 soldiers in Vietnam, which was not an easy war. Let's tune into Emily for more info on the guerrilla war.
Angel. The guerrilla war soldiers in the North Vietnam built large tunnels to hide into and allowed them to secretly attack. They would use suicide bombing as well as sneak attacks upon the South Vietnam, which caused a lot of hatred towards the citizens back home at U.S. The Tet Offensive was one of the largest military campaigns of this war, launched by the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese Army against the forces of the South Vietnam. The U.S. and all their allies, it became hard to convince the U.S. that what they were doing was justice. People couldn't understand why so many soldiers were dying over such a tiny country. Protesters marched in favor of ending the war. After Richard Nixon became president, he promised to end the war once the Americans pulled out of the war. The North and South Vietnam became unified under communist rule. However, they are now considered a market economy, and the U.S. and Vietnam are now friendly with one another. This is Emily, and thank you for your